My ex-husband ignores our daughter because his wife is jealous, so I went off on him and said he's just like his father. Me and my ex-husband and I were together for 6 years, married for 2 before he left me. At the time, our daughter was 1 year old. There were no warning signs. I left to go to a grocery shop, came home to him and his clothes were gone, left a note saying he was in love with a new woman and wanted a divorce, just like that. He just left our daughter in her crib, with absolutely no care in the world. I got no closure from that. Any calls or messages were dodged, even when they were about our daughter, literally nothing. During our divorce, he tried to fight for full custody, despite at this point not having seen her for 6 months, which was denied because he was in the military and at times constantly moving. I got full custody. He got supervision with holidays if he's not deployed. Shortly after our divorce, he married his now wife and they settled down in the city we live in. He's still in the military but now he's on a specific base. I asked if he wanted to revise the custody since he was no longer traveling. He said no need, and he wanted to take things slow. Since our divorce, he has maybe seen her 11 times. Over what, 4 years? And mind you, he literally lives in the same city. Travel isn't a problem. My daughter is in therapy for this, just to process the absence, broken promises from her father. Typical I'll pick you up this weekend only to bail at the last second. Anyway, on to the issue. I got a call from him Friday night. He was supposed to pick our daughter up at 8 a.m. Saturday, but I got a call at 1 a.m. because I was up working, and he basically says that he couldn't take our daughter to his house this weekend. After some back and forth, he says it's because his wife is upset with him spending time with her, and that's why she gets jealous. Yes, jealous of a 5-year-old. Absolute piss-take. I've been fairly cooperative this entire time, but Jesus, I was just so upset, like a buildup of emotions. I just started yelling at him, calling him a sack of poop and a disgrace. I mentioned our daughter being in therapy and how upset she was seeing some of the other kids with dads. In the preschool there was this dad day where the kids brought their dads in to do activities with them. They had a mom day the previous week, and he promised to show but pulled out at the last minute. I had to give her a sick day because she was so upset. So I really started going in on him. He gets angry and starts yelling and cussing back. Eventually he got quiet, and I ended up saying, "You know what's really effing funny? Our entire relationship, you made a big show about how much you hated your dad, how horrible he was to your mom and siblings, how your biggest fear was becoming like him. But honesty? The apple doesn't fall far from the effing tree, because you are just like him. His father cheated on his mother, abused them, and eventually left and abandoned them for another woman. Take out the abuse part in my opinion, they're the same." He didn't say anything for a couple of seconds, said Jesus Christ, and then he just ended the call. I haven't had contact with him since then. I absolutely did not feel bad at the time. I felt like my words were justified, but the longer it waits the more I feel like I went too far. I ended up telling my parents what I said to get some feedback, and they said it was cruel and unnecessary. So, am I the a-hole?